Revealed, how a heartwarming act of cake smashing turned a black CEO into a 4.2B powerhouse. Jamal stood at the center of the backyard, sunlight streaming through the lush oak trees, laughter bubbling like soda around him. The smell of grilled chicken and sizzling ribs wafted through the air. It was joyful chaos, a vibrant collage of family members huddled together, their voices mingling like a sweet melody. And then, in a blur of playful energy, his younger cousin, Mia, smacked a colorful cake full on Jamal's face. The crowd roared with laughter, their cheers slicing through the tension that constantly knotted his stomach. In that moment, he felt something shift deep inside, something bright, fierce, and alive. Wiping frosting from his eyes, Jamal's heart swelled with a rush of determination. It wasn't just a cake. It was a reminder. A reminder that life, with all its struggles, could also be filled with joy, laughter, and unexpected inspiration. He glanced around at the people who filled his world with love and support. Each one had a dream, each was fighting the same battles, yet here they were, sharing a moment of lightness amid hardships. Jamal knew that their laughter represented a glimmer of hope, a beacon calling him toward his destiny. He'd always been the driven one, working late nights in delivery, scrubbing pots at a diner, while sipping coffee in between classes at the local tech college. His mother, a tirelessly devoted single parent, had sacrificed so much to keep food on the table. She wanted stability, a secure job for Jamal, something solid, like her unwavering resolve. But the thought of settling for conventionality stung like a wasp. He craved something more, something impactful. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Jamal stepped boldly into the fast-paced world of tech startups, each pitch an opportunity and each setback a thunderous failure echoing in his mind. He battled against rampant social prejudice and crushing economic barriers that seeped into his thoughts, breeding self-doubt like a weed. But through it all, the vibrant colors of the barbecue replayed in his mind, sparking flames of resilience. Just when he'd crafted an innovative idea that could turn heads, disaster struck. An old acquaintance, fueled by envy, sought to dismantle his dreams at a crucial investor meeting. As tensions escalated, so did Jamal's anger. Tempers flared, and he felt lost in a haze of betrayal. The taste of vengeance buzzed at the back of his throat like bitter medicine, yet his heart whispered to remember the warmth of home, the laughter, the cake, those sun-drenched moments. Standing at a transformative crossroads, Jamal's chest tightened with the weight of his choices. Would he retaliate or rise with integrity? The waters of his aspirations churned uncertainly. His future seemed to balance on a knife's edge, and the very core of his belief hung in the balance. Jamal took a deep breath, thinking of his family. Would he succumb to shadows, or would he gather strength from the whispers of love and dreams that had always surrounded him? The decision awaited him, a thunderclap of possibility just as bright as the laughter echoing from the backyard. With the stakes impossibly high, Jamal knew he would have to fight not just for himself, but for every soul who dared to dream amid the chaos. His journey had only just begun. The sun hung lower in the sky, casting long shadows across Jamal's ambitious heart. He stood still, savoring the laughter that faded like echoes from a party long past. Mia's sweet smile danced in his mind. It reminded him of the weight of expectation, of the love that wrapped around him like a warm blanket. The issues from the meeting loomed overhead, casting a dark cloud over his morning optimism. With his mind racing, Jamal turned away from the backyard's joy and retreated into his workshop, a modest space filled with half-assembled gadgets and scribbled ideas. Wires crossed like tangled thoughts, while sketches of apps lined the stray walls. He poured himself a cup of strong coffee, the caffeine buzzing through him like the electric vibe of game night with family. He could hear their voices again, lively and carefree, reminding him of why he fought so hard. Sitting at the worn table, Jamal opened his laptop and stared at the draft of his pitch. It was innovative, a solution to a problem that plagued many businesses. Many nights had gone into this idea, refining it until it sparkled. Yet the thought of showing it to investors filled him with dread. What if they rejected it? What if his old acquaintance had already poisoned the well? Just then, his phone buzzed, jolting him from despair. He looked down, surprised to see a message from his mother. "Remember, you have a light inside you. Don't let anyone dim it." Tears prickled in his eyes, and he felt a rush of warmth spread through him, a reminder of strength that had fueled him all his life. Jamal envisioned her, working late, the weariness in her eyes overlooked by the proud smile whenever he showed her small successes, how she always believed when he faltered. Fueled by her unwavering faith, Jamal clicked on his draft again, compelled to change the narrative. Instead of focusing on the potential backlash, he would tell the story of his journey, the challenges, the cake-smashing moment, and the laughter. Would investors connect with the humanity behind the pitch? Could he turn the competition into a collaboration? As the words flowed, he could almost feel the presence of those family gatherings. The love and support felt like a safety net. He was here to create something bigger than himself. The vision sharpened, and with every keystroke, uncertainty began to fade. He was not simply fighting for survival, he was building a legacy, a dream supported by his family's laughter. Yet even as hope surged within him, a dark thought flickered, wanting to latch onto his spirit. What if his old acquaintance wasn't done yet? A glance to the window revealed storm clouds gathering in the distance. The laughter outside dissipated, replaced by an uneasy silence that clawed at his chest. At that moment, Jamal realized he had a choice. He could let fear paralyze him, or he could channel his energy into every word of his presentation. The stakes were high, yet within him, a fierce determination rose. It wasn't just about the meeting next week, it was about every person who believed in him. Jamal closed his laptop, heart racing, remembering the cake smash, the laughter, the dreams he was bound to protect. He wouldn't let past betrayals guide him, he'd rise above. But suddenly, his phone buzzed again, an unknown number. Curiosity tugged at him. Was it a warning from the past, or perhaps an unexpected twist in his path? His heart thudded as he hesitated, uncertain of what might greet him on the other side of that message. Would it bring clarity, or would it plunge him deeper into the shadows? Taking a deep breath, Jamal finally picked up his phone. The screen lit up, revealing a message from the unfamiliar number. With his heart beating faster, he pressed open. "Jamal, it's Alex," the message read. "I think we need to talk. We have unfinished business." A wave of emotions crashed over him: confusion, anxiety, a flicker of anger. Alex. The name alone sent a spike of adrenaline through him. Once a friend, now a distant echo of betrayal. Jamal had always known he'd need to face Alex someday, but he hadn't anticipated it coming so soon. Jamal hesitated. Did he really want to rehash the past? No, he muttered to himself, resisting the urge to type back immediately. Instead, he let it all swirl around in his mind: the laughter they once shared, the dreams they had been ambitious enough to chase together. The storm clouds continued to gather outside, thickening the air with a strange anticipation. How could he face Alex now, with everything at stake? Jamal shut his eyes for a moment, envisioning his mother's words again, the light inside him pushing back against the darkness. Leaving the phone on the table, he returned to his draft. His fingers hesitated over the keys. How could he be strong against the very person who had played a role in almost dimming his light? He envisioned that cake-smashing moment again: the laughter, the joy, the reckless abandon of celebrating something so simple yet so profound. Then an idea struck him. What if this unexpected conversation could be an opportunity? Maybe it was time for a new chapter. What if he could transform the energy of that conversation, like turning a storm into a rainbow? Resolute, he finally typed back, "What do you want to discuss?" and hit send. The anticipation was palpable as he waited for a reply. In the silence of the workshop, his past and future collided, making it hard to breathe. Would Alex come prepared to apologize, or was this confrontation simply about old grievances? Just then, the phone buzzed, snapping him back to reality. Alex's reply was quick. "I know everything that happened with the competition. We both wanted success, but we went about it entirely differently. Can we meet?" In that instant, the world felt as if it had narrowed down to just Jamal and that moment in the workshop, the weight of expectation teetering on the edge of the unknown. Should he meet Alex risking everything he had built for the chance at understanding, perhaps even reconciliation? The thought of facing his past felt like staring into the eye of a hurricane, but there it was, right in front of him, an opportunity to reclaim his narrative, to reshape the story. He took another deep breath, absorbing the buzz of possibility tingling at his fingertips. "Let us meet tomorrow. I'll text you a time," he typed, his heart pounding with every keystroke. As he hit send, a flicker of doubt intermingled with excitement. Could a conversation with Alex really help him turn this chaotic storm into a new start? Was he ready to confront the wounds that had festered? Jamal glanced outside. The sun had once again peeked through the clouds, illuminating the workshop with a soft glow. The laughter of the neighborhood kids echoed faintly, but this time, it felt different. It felt like a call to action. With the meeting with Alex looming, Jamal's heart thrummed with anxiety and determination. If he was going to transform not just his pitch but also his life, he'd need to stride into that meeting not just with memories, but with the bravery to let the past go if only he knew how to build that bridge. The uncertainty lingered, heavy in the air. Could he find the courage to face old shadows and weave a new story from their remnants? Only time would tell. Jamal's heart raced as he prepared for the next day. The tension in the air weighed on him heavily, like a storm ready to break. He spent the evening pacing around his workshop, his mind replaying moments from the past, memories both sweet and painful that he remembered the day he and Alex had joked about their grand dream, launching a startup that blurred the lines between technology and creativity. They envisioned themselves shaking hands with investors, laughing about their journey on stage, spotlight shining bright on both of them. But that dream crumbled, as did their friendship. Flashes of their last argument rushed back at him. The bitterness, the accusations, and the look of betrayal in Alex's eyes haunted him as he tossed and turned that night. What if Alex's message was just bait? What if that conversation would only unravel old scars without healing anything? Morning came too soon, and Jamal sat at his kitchen table, the sunlight streaming in, warming his back. He stared at his phone, half expecting Alex to send a message changing their plans. But instead, he received a text confirming their meeting spot, a cafe downtown. "Okay," he whispered to himself, trying to summon some courage. A familiar tune flowed from the speakers in the corner of the room, a subtle reminder of better days. He clung to it, letting the rhythm guide him as he got ready. The cafe was buzzing with life when he arrived. The aroma of coffee mixed with the sweetness of pastry struck him as he took a deep breath. He spotted Alex at a corner table, his figure hunched over a cup, absorbed in thought. Jamal's stomach tightened. Taking a seat across from Alex, Jamal felt the weight of unspoken words, and a rush of memories hit him, ways they used to laugh, share dreams, and now, here they were, two strangers masked in past grievances. Alex's voice was shaky as he finally looked up, vulnerability etched into his expression. It unnerved Jamal but also made him curious. "Alex." A simple greeting, but it felt laden with history. The awkward silence lingered until Alex finally broke it. "I wanted to reach out. I've been thinking about that day." He paused, emotions flickering in his eyes. "I know we handled everything poorly, and I'm sorry. I wish I would have spoken up instead of letting ambition cloud our friendship." Jamal felt his heart soften, though the knots of tension remained. "You really hurt me, you know. It felt like you threw everything away for a shot at success," he said, frustration seeping into his tone before he could rein it in. I thought we were in this together. I thought so too, Alex replied, sorrow coating his words. But I got lost in my head, focusing on what others expected of me. I lost sight of us. Jamal could feel the honesty behind Alex's pain. Perhaps this was the beginning of something new or another dead end. Would he open his heart and grant this conversation the potential to heal? Do you really think we can move past this? Jamal asked, each word heavy with hope and uncertainty. Only if we're willing to forgive ourselves first, Alex replied, the earnestness shining through his eyes. And I know we can reshape all of this. As they spoke, Jamal's heart began to lift. Maybe it wasn't just about confronting the darkness of their past, it was about reclaiming their story and choosing to walk a brighter path together. But the question lingered, could he truly forgive and start anew? As they exchanged more words, the atmosphere in the cafe shifted, charged with possibilities. But something deep within Jamal warned him they had only scratched the surface. The real work lay ahead, and he had to decide if he was ready to dive into those deeper waters. A sudden flash of doubt snagged at Jamal's thoughts. Would he really find the strength to let go if given the chance to rebuild? Or was he just setting himself up for another heartbreak? The moment collapsed into silence, each man lost in thought. The deeper truths had yet to unravel, but Jamal could feel the story stretching before him. How deep were Alex's regrets? What would they uncover? Together? The silence felt heavier now, almost suffocating. Jamal shifted in his seat, his eyes locked on the steam rising from Alex's untouched coffee. It was as if the drink mirrored their relationship too, once fresh and hot, now cold and uninviting. Can we really go back? Jamal finally asked. His voice trembled with the weight of what was unsaid. I don't know how to just forget the past. It hurts too much. Alex leaned forward, his expression earnest, desperate. I can't change what happened. But I want to face it with you. I want to be better, Jamal. Better how? The question slipped out before he could hold it back. Each word struck like a hammer, demanding an answer. A hint of frustration flashed in Alex's eyes. I've been working on myself. I've realized all I did was put my ambition before everything else. But rock bottom made me rethink my priorities. He hesitated, staring into Jamal's eyes, searching for understanding. This is more than just about the business. It's about us. Jamal took a deep breath, feeling a flicker of something he hadn't in a long time: hope. And how do we rebuild trust? It's not like you can just wish it back. It takes time, actions. Alex nodded, his expression softening. Then let us start now. Not just talk about it. I want to show you that I mean it. I want to make amends. The tension in Jamal's chest loosened. Could this be the turning point? Could they really walk this path together? Okay, Jamal replied, his voice steadier. I'm willing to try. But it won't be easy. Nothing worthwhile ever is, Alex shot back, a glimmer of a smile breaking the clouds hanging over their conversation. They both laughed, a tentative bridge formed between them. The cafe buzzed around them, but in this moment, it felt like time stood still. What about the startup? Jamal asked, curiosity creeping back in. The very dream that had once separated them now nudged at his heart. Do you really still want to pursue it? I do, Alex said, his confidence growing. But this time, I want it to be different. Together, we can combine our strengths, learn from past mistakes, and build something genuine. Something genuine, Jamal repeated softly, letting the word settle. Wouldn't that mean they had to confront even more buried feelings? But if we do this, I want full transparency. No more secrets. I can't take another betrayal. Agreed, Alex said, and for the first time, he looked truly relieved. I'm all in, Jamal. I promise. In that moment, Jamal felt a rush of warmth. There was something electric about the possibilities ahead. They had the chance to reshape their future, but uncertainty still loomed, overshadowing their budding optimism. What's the first step? Jamal asked, eager yet apprehensive. Let's base it on our values, Alex suggested. We start small, create a vision. And we build from there. Jamal nodded, feeling the exhilaration creep back in. Yet a voice in the back of his mind cautioned him to tread carefully. Okay, let's do it. But for every step forward, it has to be real. Real it is, Alex affirmed, a spark igniting between them. The cafe buzzed on, completely unaware of the significant conversation unfolding at their corner table. The fears and hopes hung in the air, mingling with aroma of freshly brewed coffee. As they talked strategy, Jamal found himself wanting more than just a partnership built on business. He wanted a friendship healed by vulnerability. But just as optimism started blooming, a sharp pang of doubt flickered. Could they really transform their past mistakes into stepping stones for a brighter, shared future? As the thoughts tumbled in and out, an unexpected friction simmered between them. The promise of rebirth felt tantalizingly close yet overshadowed by what could go wrong. Would they be ready to face everything together and rise anew, or would the shadows of their past continue to haunt them? Jamal's heart raced again. What if the stakes were even higher than they could imagine? The chair creaked beneath Jamal as he leaned back, surveying Alex with a mix of curiosity and caution. The steam from the coffee lingered between them like a barrier, yet it was also a reminder of the warmth they once shared. Could that warmth ever return? All right, let's outline our values, Alex proposed, pulling out his phone. How about we both list what's most important to us? Jamal nodded, his mind whirling. What if it's different for each of us? That's part of the process, Alex replied. We need to understand where we align, and where we don't. Okay, Jamal said, uncertainty weaving itself around his thoughts. He grabbed a pen and scribbled a word, integrity. Alex raised an eyebrow, nodding appreciatively. Absolutely. That's vital. I'd say transparency too. We've all seen what secrecy can do. As they scribbled down values, each word transformed into something more than mere ideas. They became promises. Respect, accountability, creativity. Jamal listed hesitantly, pausing between words as if they were stepping stones across a troubled river. A few moments passed before Jamal finally spoke again. What about empathy? We need to actually understand each other. I like that, Alex said, his tone sincere. If we're going to rebuild, we have to feel what the other person feels. With each shared value, Jamal's heart beat a little faster. It was this very effort, this willingness to redefine what they stood for, that sparked a glimmer of hope. They were fighting for more than a business. They were fighting for each other. As their lists morphed into a shared vision, laughter punctuated their conversation. Old jokes resurfaced like cherished memories, and for a brief moment, the weight of the past faded. Remember that time you tried baking? I still can't believe the cake didn't explode, Jamal chuckled, shaking his head. Hey, baking is my passion. I just need practice. Alex shot back, leaving both of them in stitches. But as laughter faded, Jamal felt the weight of reality pressing down again. Was this fleeting humor enough to bridge years of hurt? Are we really ready for this? He asked suddenly, the joy in his voice replaced by uncertainty. What if we're fooling ourselves? What if we're not? Alex countered, meeting Jamal's gaze directly. There was intensity in his eyes, a raw vulnerability that made Jamal's heart flutter. Every moment we spend doubting is another moment wasted. Let's face what we fear, together. Jamal swallowed hard, letting Alex's words settle. And if we stumble? If the past gets in the way again, we'll face it. The only way forward is through. No more running from each other. Not anymore, Alex said, determination etching itself into his voice. Jamal felt a rush of emotions overwhelming him. It wasn't just about the startup. It was about a future they had almost lost. Could they reclaim it? Could they actually fall back into harmony? Okay, Jamal whispered, a flicker of bravery igniting within him. Let us do this. But we both need to commit, like, really commit. We will, Alex replied, a flicker of hope now ignited in his eyes. Yet, doubt swirled in the back of Jamal's mind like a storm cloud. Were they truly ready to confront the shadows of their past? Just then, the door of the cafe swung open, a gust of wind accompanying a figure that caught Jamal's attention, a woman in a tailored suit stepping inside. Her confident presence demanded attention, and she was headed right in their direction. What if she has a message for us? Jamal thought, a strange sense of curiosity igniting his apprehension. As she approached, a feeling deep within him stirred. Would this be yet another unexpected twist in their already unpredictable journey? The woman stopped a few steps from their table. Her sharp suit and assertive stride drew Jamal's attention, intensifying the energy in the cafe. He exchanged a glance with Alex, a mix of anticipation and disbelief on his face. "Excuse me," she said, her voice firm yet warm. "Are you Jamal and Alex?" Jamal nodded, still trying to process the unexpected intrusion. "Yes, we are. Can we help you?" She smiled, a knowing grin that hinted at a story waiting to unfold. "I'm Caitlin, and I've been looking for you. I heard you two are back in the game. A friend highly recommended your concept." "We are," Alex said, leaning forward with interest. "What do you know about it?" "Oh, just rumors swirling about a tech venture that focuses on community impact," she replied, pulling out a business card. "But I want to hear it straight from the source." Jamal's curiosity piqued. "What do you mean community impact?" "Change. Empowerment. I run a foundation that connects startups with mentorship and funding. And if what I'm hearing is right, your project has the potential to make waves." There was something magnetic about Caitlin. Her passion practically seeped through her tailored suit, compelling Jamal and Alex to lean in closer. "We're just trying to figure out the values we want to build this on," Jamal admitted, his insecurity surfacing again. "It's been a long road for us." "I understand," Caitlin said, her expression softening. "But every successful venture is built on not just a solid foundation but also on relationships. It's the people in your corner that can truly help you soar. You guys have that, right?" Jamal and Alex exchanged a look, unspoken words passing between them. They were still grasping at their connection, yet here was someone acknowledging their journey. "We're working on it," Alex said, and Jamal could hear the hope in his voice. "Good," Caitlin replied, unwavering. "Because I'm ready to back you. I see potential here, and I think your shared journey doesn't just end, it can redefine how businesses connect with people. I've been there, and I know what it feels like to rebuild." The way she said rebuild struck a chord in Jamal's heart. This wasn't just a business pitch, it was validation. "What do you mean?" Jamal asked, cautiously optimistic. Caitlin took a deep breath. "I was once in a situation very much like yours. Rebuilding not just myself, but a brand, after a major setback. I learned that vulnerability can lead to strength if harnessed correctly." Jamal felt a tight knot in his chest loosen, replaced by a sense of camaraderie. "And you think we can do it too? Together?" "Absolutely," she affirmed. "But you'll have to lay it all out on the table. Commitment isn't just about the startup, it's about rebuilding trust with each other. Can you do that?" Jamal felt a stirring in his gut. This was the moment they needed, the spark of accountability they were desperately seeking. "We're willing to try," he said, looking at Alex. "Together." Caitlin smiled again, and for the first time, Jamal felt a weight lift. Perhaps they were on the right track after all. As she explained the next steps, a flurry of excitement enveloped them. Ideas darted back and forth, and for a few moments, it was as if the cafe faded into the background. Alex leaned in closer, intent on Caitlin's every word, while Jamal soaked in a sense of possibility. But just as hope seemed to swell within them, the conversation took an unexpected turn. Caitlin paused, her eyes sharpening suddenly. "But I must warn you, there will be challenges. Uncovering old wounds may bring up issues you thought were buried, and I'm not just talking business." As those words hung in the air, Jamal's heart raced. What could that mean for them? Could they handle it? In that moment of uncertainty, Jamal was left pondering whether they were ready for more than just startup partners. Would they survive the truth of their shared past, or would it tear them apart again? Jamal stared at Caitlin, his mind racing. The cafe around them buzzed with chatter, but it felt muffled, like they were cloaked in a bubble of anticipation and fear. He could feel Alex's gaze burning into him, both of them wondering what challenges Caitlin might be hinting at. "Old wounds?" Alex asked, his voice a bit shaky. "What kind of issues are we talking about?" Caitlin leaned back a bit, her expression shifting to one of understanding mixed with caution. "Look, every journey comes with a story. I've faced my own demons, and I know how they can resurface at the worst moments. Our past can either define us or fuel us. It's your choice." Jamal felt a heaviness settle over him. Memories flickered, failures, missed opportunities, moments of betrayal that made his stomach churn. Could he really pull this off? The desire for change pushed against the weight of fear. He looked at Alex, who clenched his jaw, absorbing Caitlin's words. "What if we confront these things?" Jamal said, surprising even himself. "What if we talk it through? Can you help us navigate that?" Caitlin smiled again, a glimmer of appreciation in her eyes. "That's the spirit. But it won't be easy. Emotions will come up. Remember, vulnerability can be a double-edged sword." Alex nodded, clearly weighing the risks. "We don't have a lot of experience in being vulnerable, especially not with each other." "Then that's where the real work begins," Caitlin replied, her tone shifting to that of a mentor. "I can help you both, but you need to be open. This might reveal parts of yourselves that you've buried deep. Are you both ready for that?" Jamal hesitated. He thought about the scars he had tucked away. But then he thought of the dreams woven into late-night conversations with Alex, of the lives they could change with their tech venture. The stakes felt impossibly high, yet exhilarating. "Let us do it," Jamal said, the words flowing out with a mix of determination and dread. "Better together, right?" Alex glanced at Jamal, a flicker of hope breaking through. "Yeah, better together." "Excellent," Caitlin said. "I'll arrange a workshop for both of you to help outline not only your business model but also your personal stories. You'll need to trust the process and each other." As they continued discussing the logistics, Jamal couldn't shake the feeling that this could change everything or shatter them. With each passing minute, the future seemed less certain but far more thrilling. They began to sketch ideas and aspirations on napkins, the energy returning, and Jamal found himself smiling. However, in the midst of light and laughter, a shadow drifted over his thoughts. Could they really handle the truth? Every story has a dark chapter, and Jamal wondered if this was where theirs might begin. Just then, a figure from the corner of the cafe caught his eye. A familiar silhouette entered, and in a heartbeat, Jamal's stomach dropped. It was someone he hadn't seen in years, someone he had hoped to avoid. What were they doing here? The figure approached their table, confusion etched across their face. "Jamal? Is that really you?" Jamal's heart raced again, but this time it wasn't just fear, it was the rush of things coming to a head. Would old wounds now expose new opportunities, or would this encounter unravel everything they had just begun to build? Jamal's breath caught in his throat. The person standing before him was Angela, his ex-girlfriend from college. Memories surged like a flash flood: late-night study sessions, laughter over shared pizza, and the day they broke up under the pretense of needing space. He swallowed hard. "Angela. Wow, I didn't expect to see you here." Her smile was tentative, eyes darting cautiously between him and Alex. "I almost didn't recognize you. You've changed a lot." There was a hint of something unspoken, an undercurrent of nostalgia laced with unresolved tension. Jamal forced a smile as he gestured to Alex. "This is Alex, my business partner. We're working on something big." He felt the need to assert his confidence, hoping it masked the swells of uncertainty inside. Angela's gaze flickered to the napkin scattered on their table, sketched with brainstorming notes and half-formed ideas. "You always did dream big," she said, her voice softening. "Yeah, I guess I picked that up from you," he replied, the rush of memories making his heartbeat pulse louder in his ears. Caitlin, still sitting with them, broke the momentary spell. "Angela, do you want to join us? We were just discussing some personal growth exercises." She caught Jamal's eye, silently urging him to embrace this unexpected connection. Angela hesitated but then nodded, sliding into the empty chair. "Sure, why not? It's been a long time since we've caught up. Plus, learning is always a good excuse." Jamal's mind raced. This wasn't just a casual conversation about life and aspirations. This could dive into deeper waters, exposing emotions he thought were buried forever. Would he have to confront the reasons for their breakup? So Caitlin began, effortlessly taking charge of the situation. "Let's discuss the importance of vulnerability. Jamal, Alex, you both mentioned wanting to be more open. Angela, how has your journey been in that area?" Angela leaned back, her brows furrowing slightly. "Honestly? It's been tough. My job demands a lot from me, and being vulnerable means not just showing strength, but also admitting weaknesses. It hasn't always been welcomed." Jamal's stomach twisted at her words. He knew this struggle too well, the fear of letting others in. "I get that. What if we could create a safe space where vulnerability is embraced? A way to share our stories without judgment?" Angela looked at him, her expression shifting. "Like a support system? That's actually a great idea." As they chatted, Jamal felt a flicker of hope. Maybe this encounter wasn't just a potential disaster, but a chance for deep healing. Yet as Angela spoke, Jamal couldn't fully shake off the doubts whispering in his mind. A conflict churned within him. Could he handle digging into their past? Would talking about what went wrong between them open wounds he was not ready to face? Just as he considered these thoughts, Alex, sensing the tension, chimed in. "So, why did you two break up? I mean, there had to be a reason, right?" Jamal shot a look at Alex. The question hung in the air like an uninvited guest. The cafe noise felt sharper now, every voice felt like an echo of his emotions. Could he bear to revisit that moment? Angela's eyes darkened slightly, but she composed herself. "That's complicated." Jamal's pulse quickened. Would this question unravel the delicate stitching they had all just begun to weave? As he prepared to respond, feeling the weight of the moment close in around him, he couldn't escape the feeling that this was more than just a casual encounter. It was a crossroads, ripe with possibility or chaos. "Complicated," Jamal echoed softly, realizing this might just be where their stories twisted together once again. What else had been left unsaid? He didn't know just how far they were willing to go or how deep the wounds truly ran. The silence stretched, thickened by expectation. Would this be the moment it all fell apart or the beginning of something new? Jamal took a deep breath, feeling the weight of Angela's gaze alongside Alex's. It was here at this cafe table, surrounded by the smell of coffee and the sounds of laughter, that he finally confronted the storm brewing inside him. "You know, sometimes it's hard to pinpoint the real reason things end," he began slowly, the words tasting bittersweet on his tongue. Angela nodded, her eyes reflecting his struggle, memories flickering between them like fireflies in the fading light. "It was never about just one thing, right? There were too many expectations, too many dreams that couldn't fit into one life." Jamal's heart raced, the truth felt so close yet so intimidating. "You were my anchor, Angela. And when I struggled to find my footing in the chaos of my ambitions, I pushed you away, he admitted, raw honesty spilling into the open air. He felt the floodgates opening, and the memories flowed through him, shared dreams, warm laughter, shadows of betrayal. I felt that pressure too, Angela confessed. It was hard to keep up with a future I wasn't sure I wanted. We both wanted to succeed, but we forgot to check in with each other along the way. The tension dissipated slowly, revealing a sliver of understanding. Jamal realized how timeless vulnerability could stitch up even the deepest wounds. In that moment, he could almost hear the laughter from that sunny backyard, where Cake had smudged the lines between familial duty and joy. Alex, feeling the shift in energy, leaned forward. We've all made mistakes. Isn't that what shapes us? His voice was steady, reassuring, like the anchor Jamal needed. Maybe it's those very struggles that can help us move forward. Jamal glanced at Alex. You're right. We're all flawed trying to figure out this slippery path of life together. Turning back to Angela, a new resolve bubbled within him. So let us do better. Not just in our lives, but for ourselves and each other. A wave of relief washed over Angela's face. I do like that. We're all fighting uphill, and I don't want to tread it alone. Caitlin observed them quietly, impressed by the way they were weaving strength out of vulnerability. Now that is the essence of teamwork, she remarked. When you realize you're each other's greatest champions, that's when magic happens. Jamal felt like the sun had burst through the storm clouds. Each word shared mended something deeper within him, and perhaps in Angela, too. The weight, heavy and uncomfortable, had started to lift, but it wasn't enough to simply talk, they needed action. So how do we move forward? He asked. What's our first step? Caitlin stepped in. It starts with creating a safe space. Regrouping around your shared values and learning to embrace each vulnerability will fuel real progress. Angela smiled then, looking at each of them. I'd like to explore that together. Together, Jamal echoed, feeling a newfound camaraderie blossom within him. As the conversation shifted toward actionable steps, Jamal felt the kaleidoscope of emotions mix: hope, fear, excitement. He knew there would be moments of doubt ahead, they had just surfaced a deep well of feelings. But he shared a glance with Alex and Angela, and in that moment, he understood something profound. This wasn't just about rebuilding a business, it was about reconstructing connection, trust, and true friendship. Over the next hour, laughter and ideas crisscrossed the table, fueling a fire of hope and inspiration. They mapped out their goals, shared personal aspirations, and although the past loomed like a shadow in the background, there was a light shining at the end of the tunnel. When Caitlin wrapped up their session, she stood up, beaming. You are on your way to creating something significant. Just remember that vulnerability and authenticity can lead to triumph. Lean into each other. Feeling that spark of brotherhood, Jamal nodded, determination anchoring his heart. They had made significant progress today, a transformative milestone in both their lives and careers. What loomed like a battle was turning into a promise of triumph. As they spilled out into the street, laughter danced on the evening air, the world buzzing with possibility. Jamal looked back at Angela and Alex, the weight of old wounds lifting. This is just the beginning, he said, his voice lighter, filled with conviction. Angela shot him a radiant smile. To new beginnings, right? To new beginnings, Alex echoed, their hearts now intertwined in purpose. They walked down the street side by side, the path ahead wide open, the laughter of that bright, beloved backyard filling their spirits. Jamal's heart felt light, filled with the vibrant energy of hope, laughter, and a profound transformation that was only just taking shape. And as the sun dipped past the horizon, painting the sky gold and violet, Jamal knew that if they continued this journey together, one of trust, vulnerability, and laughter, no storm could overwhelm them. In that moment, he felt unstoppable. You need to subscribe now to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories. This is the moment to show your support and hit that like button now to feed the algorithm. Comment below your reactions and feelings about this ending, and don't wait not even 1 second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation.